You think because you say nothing, you are strong?
Holy those rockets!
All snarled up on something. Shit! Grenade!
If you lack the stomach to kill for your country, at least show me that you are willing to die for it!
On the Führer's birthday, a barrage of Katuska rockets will tear Berlin to pieces! With your bullets! With your bayonets! With your bare hands! Do the same to their wretched soldiers!
Looking at this gameplay, you would think on the face of it, yeah, this seems like a normal World War II first-person shooter. It's not. This Call of Duty game in particular has got to be the most creepiest and scariest game they have released to date. In this video, I will break down in points on what made World at War so eerie. Number 1. The soundtrack. When you first load up the game and go straight to the main menu, you are haunted by this soundtrack straight away. I was 11 years old when I got this game, and my immediate reaction was that I needed a second pair of pants on standby because it was about to get real. I get chills even when I listen to it now. The soundtrack is spooky, cold, and just off-putting, which was the perfect fit for this game because it was clearly obvious that Treyarch and Activision wanted to make this game one to remember. Number 2. The campaign. Now, if you thought you was in for a kind of light-hearted, tame and watered-down version of events around World War II, then you're in for a real shock. The opening scene when you start a new game, you are literally greeted with actual archived footage of World War II, and in particular, Japanese soldiers shooting prisoners of war. So yeah, that really sets the tone. In these cutscenes, you are given an actual rundown of history about what happened in this battle, the location, the current politics / war strategy at the time. It has to be one of the most interesting set of cutscenes out of all the Call of Duty series. I learned more from the cutscenes than in my school history class. Onto the gameplay itself. You are chucked straight into the deep end right from the start. Spoiler alert, if you haven't played this game and want to, click off this video now. So in the first mission, you are immediately greeted by this kind Japanese man, who then orders this guy to be executed. Definitely one of the most memorable first missions in the franchise. And that's what I mean by setting the tone. The Pacific theatre of war was untouched at this point from Call of Duty, but oh boy, they showed you how dark and scary it was. Throughout the entire campaign for the Pacific, you're suddenly made aware of all the booby traps and tricks the Japanese used to both lure the Marines in and catch them off guard. You had bouncing Betty traps.
Looks like a temple or some shit.
Booby traps.
It's all snarled up on something. Shit! Grenade!
And the most terrifying, banzai charges. Not something that any current Call of Duty has been able to replicate. These all happened unexpectedly, obviously, but it added that element that you were stepping on eggshells, always on guard, just waiting for something to jump out at you. Throughout the entire story, you're experiencing a certain type of atmosphere which makes you feel uneasy, but it's captured you in the game. All the time you're being careful, it's hard not to see these little cinematics where you can imagine these things actually happening. You have the brutal beach landing of Peleliu.
Plan's going to shit!
Soldiers panicking during combat.
Help Ryan!
Kamikaze pilots. All of it is a huge eye-opener. In particular this one, where you pick up the flamethrower and fire at what you think are Japanese soldiers, but they're not. These troops are Indonesians speaking their own language whilst being burned alive. During the Second World War, Japan promised Indonesia to help them gain independence from the Dutch if they were to help fight with the Japanese. Quite chilling detail. The two places they picked to showcase the brutality of World War II couldn't have been better, as we had the Pacific, but also the Eastern Front. Similar to the start of the Pacific campaign, you are spawned in as a Soviet soldier surrounded by dead or nearly dead comrades. You seriously get the feeling that you and your people are being hunted. Everything about this opening scene is just creepy. The first mission, Vendetta, was superbly written because at the start, as I said, you are the hunted. But the narrative very quickly changes as you are now hunting a higher-ranking German officer for revenge. And whilst you are still literally being hunted, the dynamic changes as it's no longer about survival, it's about vengeance. And this is reminded to you and the other troops all the time throughout the entire Soviet campaign. Most of the Soviet soldiers are frightened, but you can say as an act of motivation, Reznov constantly tells everyone to not care about survival, but to fill your heart with rage.
So, writing about this war or fighting it?
Wretched Germany in the blood.
No one will ever read this. You lack the stomach to kill for your country, at least show me that you are willing to die for it.
And as the campaign goes on, you can see the change in your comrades who feel nothing but hatred, with others still trying to find hope and keep their conscience.
Deserve mercy.
What mercy did you show to the die? Wait! He may help us! He will die for us! Mudak!
This is not war. This is murder.
Not only was this on the Soviet side, we also see this with the Germans. At points in the game, you are constantly tested on whether to keep your conscience intact or follow Reznov's idea of hatred towards the enemy.
Line and turn up! I'm not hearing gunshots.
There is no point, Sergeant. They are already bleeding to death.
Then maybe our friend will have them bleed faster.
Pigs! Face us, you cowards!
Nein! Bitte! Wir geben uns!
Bitte!
Jana! What is going
These
on?
men are trying to surrender!
Look around you, Chernov. Do you think these men will be denied their revenge? Death comes only two ways. Fast or slow. Dmitri, it is your choice. Chernov, you should learn from Dmitri.
As you progress further along in the story, you can really sense the desperation of the German army as the Soviets get closer and closer to Berlin. In an attempt to buy time, you see in the mission Eviction, they try to flood their underground train station to halt the incoming wave of the Soviet army. But they do this knowing that their own troops are down there fighting, but they do it regardless. It really paints a picture in your head. Also, did you know that if you look down in the water before the floodgates open, you can see rats quickly going in the opposite direction because they know something is coming? The detail in this game is truly remarkable. The weird Easter eggs are also strange to say the least. The famous ray gun spawn on the Peleliu beach landing was iconic. As well as the one in Vendetta, where if you go back round in the fountain, you can see an ally soldier pretending to play dead, but will look round at you. On to the next point.